Hi, welcome back to Snark and Spark. My name is Emily, and today I am doing an August wrap-up slash September setup video. It's going to be a long one because I just want to go over how my August was, stitchy and personal, and then talk about my September plans and goals. So let's dive right in. I'll save all the personal stuff at the end, so if that's what you're interested in, it's at the end. And if you're not interested in it, then don't worry about it. So let's talk about Stitchy. August, I feel really good about August, actually. I did some math. Math is not my thing. So if you remember, new planner, love it. I adore this planner. I am using it. I am loving it. It is awesome. And I am learning about myself. So again, when you open it up immediately, like on a tabbed page, it pops you onto your dashboard and then like a lined note page, which is great. I went ahead and I have, let me grab it. Sorry, I'm really close to the camera. The monthly sticker book that, because this Plum Paper produced for this year, or I guess technically it was released this year, but it's not necessarily for this year. The monthlies are undated, so unlike the actual monthly sticker kit that I get from them that is dated, so it says this said September 2022, these ones don't. So there is a thing, there's 2 pages for every year. January has January on it, but does not have any year. So I really like that. So I do have this, which is really nice, and so that's what these stickers are from. They are from that book. And I use them, and it's great. I was talking to my husband about it. I had a nightmare, I'm gonna call it that. I was really late setting up my September planners because the end of the month was crazy busy and the beginning of this month was crazy busy, and they weren't set up, and I actually had a nightmare that I used these stickers in my like everyday life planner, and I used my like everyday life planner stickers in this planner and messed it all up, and it was very stressful, and I woke up and was like freaked out and immediately sat down and did my planners. And he made fun of me, which, hey, I would make fun of me too. But awesome. Anyways, so because it is just a planner, you flip to those things and you've got, it says goal 1, 2, and 3, birthdays, events, things to remember, and then these 2 are blank down here at the bottom. But if you use those stickers, they're blank automatically, and you can write whatever you want in them, and that's what I do. So I had my categories that my friends and I picked, I had my WIPGO numbers, I had the monthly prompts for the Magical Stitches group, and then I had at the bottom I used for semi-sane to keep all my semi-sane things straight. This page, which is important to note, I have divided it into sections, which I'm continuing into this month. And each section is a different week of the month. Obviously, I quit writing in it at week 3. That was a mistake. And I will cover that at the end of the month. But essentially, if I don't write it down, it's gone. And I have learned that that is an ADHD thing, that it's out of sight, out of mind. So writing it down was actually incredibly helpful for me. Then it's the monthly spread, which I don't necessarily use in this planner, but I still like to make it pretty, because who doesn't want their planner to be pretty? I want it pretty. I did write some stuff in it in the sidebar and in the thing, which is actually kind of nice, so I'll still use it going forward, but yeah. Then we got onto my weekly spreads. I don't mind doing a quick flip through of them. Sorry, my camera's in a different place than I usually have it, so down. I was on vacation this week, so just lots of pretty kind of things. I don't expect any of this to make sense to you, but it makes sense to me. But I will explain like what I did. So this is near the end of the month, so it's just a little blank. But like, so this bottom corner next to Sunday is, it'll say this week, and then it's blank. I use it, I have a checklist set up here, and I use that to write down the weekly prompts for magical stitches. Then I have what my daily 30 piece is, and I had even kind of done like my own form of a habit tracker. And then I have like what my category from my friends group is, and like the piece I chose to focus on. So, and then this is actually standard to how I tend to use it this day here on Thursday, where I have this top line. I have written my daily 30 piece. I wrote where I started and then what it finished at. And then this line is the piece I worked on the rest of the time. And it's what this all corresponds to, unless otherwise noted. Like I have in parentheses letters from Hogwarts, because this pertains to letters from Hogwarts, but these two are read now. And it's just, I abbreviate, I write down like the prompt, or I write down how many stitches I need, and then what I started at and where I ended at, just so I know if I glance at this, like what am I trying to get to again? I know that, you know, I need 200 stitches for this prompt. I started at 4,700 stitches. I needed to stop at 4,900. So it's just a way for me to keep all of that in my head without keeping it in my head. Free up space. And then this was the last day. Now, this was the beginning of September, and it is actually grayed out, and I did not write on those because September does the same thing. It picks it back up and it grayed out those first couple days and then picks it up in color. And I didn't feel like repeating it, so I didn't write anything on those days. I figured I could always go back and add washi tape or stickers or whatever to make it pretty, but I don't feel the need to. But let's wrap up. And so then at the very end, there is a last page that says August, and it's just a last notes journaling page. And I have written some stats that I wanted to share. This is the first time I've actually kept track of this, because it was actually easy for me to keep track of it this time, because I went back and I was able to look at each day as a whole and see it all right there. And that was awesome for me. So I only worked on a total of 3 whips, and that's okay. Letters from Hogwarts, All You Need Is Love, and Read Now. So from least to greatest, meaning the amount of time worked on them, I have my oldest whip, which is Read Now. I only worked on it for 1 day, and I put in 200 total stitches. And that's this baby. So there's that. Pretty much had it meet its goal for the month and then put it away. Then I have All You Need Is Love, which I started this month. So I started from 0 and put a total of, like, this is crazy to me that I did this in a month. Can you see that number? 700. I put a total of 700 stitches in this whip. Like, what? This is the project bag I have for it. This was a store here where I live in the Quad Cities called Crafted. They're sadly closed now, which is really sad. I guess it was kind of like my L&S, except for they didn't really sell cross-stitch supplies. They sold a bunch of different crafty things and unique items. Unfortunately, they closed, but before they closed, they did this. They tried to do this about once a month, a Stitch and Bitch, where you were invited to come and you could bring whatever project you were working on and hang out with other crafters for about 2 hours. And I missed that greatly, but I bought this bag to remember that by, and sadly, look at this. My dogs decided to chew on it for whatever reason. Oh, I was going to show you the whip. Anyways, I got distracted. But I missed that, and I'm hoping that Brandy of Stitchonomy is going to follow through with her idea of doing like a Stitchers night. I would love that. But here this is. Look at it. Yeah, this is quick. This is really quick. I can't believe that I've already done 700 stitches in this. I mean, admittedly, it is mainly backstitch, black work, whatever you want to call it. It does a lot of line work, all of this, like all of this is lined. There's very few actual crosses in these letters. There's more down here in the word coffee, but it is mainly line work, and it is all over 2 strands. But this is on Aida, 16 count, 14 count Aida. I don't know. That's my back. Not too bad, actually. It's on, I have the thing right here, 14 count black Aida. And again, this is what it'll look like when it's done. So I started in the middle, and I like worked my way, I did the V, and I've worked my way across, and then like I'm coming down, and then I'm gonna come back into the top. So yeah, I mean, I've made a few mistakes, but I really don't think you can tell, which even if you could, I don't care. Like, it's my piece. It makes it unique. I would love to see how Tess has gotten with this. Show me your progress. I want to see it. Because we decided to like start it around the same time. I'm just really bad at communicating. Like, really bad at communicating. But I did a total of 700 stitches on that. And then last but not least was Letters from Hogwarts, because it was my focus piece. It was my daily 30 piece. And y'all, I got some work done on this baby. I put a total of 1,700 stitches in this. And that is amazing to me. Oh, I worked on that for a total of 8 days. So that's, yeah. I worked on this for a total of 14 days. I didn't stitch every day like I had wanted, but that's okay. Life. But here we are. Isn't this, I know I've already showed this, but this is done. This is finally done. I am so happy that this is done. Then I am working now on this, which is chapter like 6, I think, is what it technically is. So I'm going out of order of when he released the sections. But I did all of this border. All of the border is done. And I have started on this top part, which is going to actually be like a curtain. I'm excited. This section is the like Patronus section. So this is where the Patronus will go. I had to ask my sister what hers is because I didn't know. So I am charting hers, which is awesome. So if I do all that math, I lay everything out for you. That was a total of 23 days that I stitched out of 31. So I mean, hey, I'll take it. You know, I didn't stitch for a week total and a day. With, for me, a total of 2,600 stitches, and that blows my mind. Utterly blows my mind. Because you have to think, I went on vacation during this month too. I took trips. We were gone for a week, and then we went out of town for a birthday weekend. Like, it was crazy. So that's really impressive to me. So my big takeaways, I'm like looking at my notes. My big takeaways for this was that implementing a daily 30 routine really helped me get a lot of progress done on Letters from Hogwarts, which is really encouraging because that is my focus piece. That is my big hairy goal for this year, is to finish that, like fully finish that. And so yeah, really implementing that daily 30 routine helped me get way more progress in it than I was expecting. Also, that border takes forever. 746, so much of that color, so much 746. But also setting that weekly whip to focus on was incredibly instrumental in me hitting my goals that I had. Because at the beginning of the month, my goal was a total of 800 stitches, right? 200 stitches per whip of like the categories my friends picked. And that felt big to me. That felt really big. And then I doubled that. I more than doubled it, which is so crazy. I'm just very proud of myself. Like, yeah, so I did that. But then I noticed I didn't necessarily get everything done that I wanted to get done because I quit using that front section. When I quit writing it down, things suddenly felt really overwhelming. I didn't really know what I was doing. I like gave myself these weird, I was like, oh, I have more time than I really did. You know, I had 3 days at the end of the month for that first week, and I was like, I've got time. No, I don't. I was like, I can do 500 stitches on that tomorrow. When have I ever put 500 stitches in something in a day? Like, that's not me. That is not me. I am too ADHD. I have too many other things happening. You know, I've got a small kid. I've got an elementary age kid that I've got to take care of who does all kinds of things and is busy as hell. 2 dogs and a cat and a husband. Like, there's no way that I'm gonna get 500 stitches in something in a day. Plus working part-time. Like, no. And I just realized that I was like foolish with those thoughts. And so when I didn't put it to pen to paper, my brain was like, ah, and it was irrational. So definitely have to write things down at the beginning of the week. I need to sit down on Sundays and, you know, write. Now, obviously, I have to admit, this is all since September. So, I just remembered that. I finished August, like, I want to say like here. Like, I had gotten all of the dark brown and I had gotten all of this side and most of like this bottom section of the border done when August ended. Since September has started, I have finished the border for this section and have put in these first like outline stitches for the curtain. And this is like almost like all of this plus like all of this on its own is like, and I've already done like 400 stitches, which is also crazy to me. And I really haven't had time to stitch so far. I'll get into that. And last but not least, I love this planner. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is, yeah, this was such a good decision on my part. So let's get into September's plans. So first and foremost, this is what September looks like. I'll show you the monthly because I feel like it shows the colors really well and it's beautiful. Look at this color spread. Sammy's gonna love this. Look at all that purple. I thought of you when I was doing all of this, Sammy. Just look at all this purple. So it's this beautiful purple, red, this light blue color, and pink, and then this like goldy orange, like this goldy orange, but like the main is definitely that purple and like red. Lots of red, lots of purple, lots of red, which is fine. So big goals this month. My goal, I bumped it up because I looked at what I was able to accomplish. I now have a goal of a total of 1,200 stitches. Do I think I will go over it? Yes. Am I still being optimistic? Yes. I just don't want to overwhelm myself. So like just because I did 2,600 stitches last month doesn't necessarily mean I'll be able to do that this month. So I'm trying to Not be overly confident, but still give myself, you know, some wiggle room kind of thing, like a challenge. So I've bumped it. Previously, I did 200 stitches per category. This time I now am doing 300 stitches per category. And categories are part of a series, haven't stitched on in 2022, medium size, stitcher choice, which can be anything we want, and then large. So for part of a series, I'm going to pull out my owl ornament. I have intentionally put it in here because I have not touched it. I think technically I could use this for the haven't stitched on in 2022. I'm not quite sure if I can't remember if I worked on it in January for like even the smallest amount. But I am intentionally putting it in as part of a series because there is a whole series of owl ornaments. And I'm working on this light blue one. I chose not to worry about doing the haven't stitched on in 2022 because I didn't want to worry about it. Plus, I have such few whips that I've pretty much touched on everything, so I really didn't want to like overthink it. Medium, I'm choosing to do Storybook Halloween. So this is where we are starting in September. Haven't touched him. We got to do Cousin It. Got to finish Cousin It. And this is also nice because the WIPGO numbers that were drawn for this month were 3 and 22. And both of those I have to finish 2 blocks on Storybook Halloween. So I have a goal of doing a total of 4 blocks from WIPGO on this piece alone. I'm not going to count Cousin It because he's already started. He's already like halfway through. But it will be this block and this block because I do them in order of the release. So it went do 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 do. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So those are the 4 blocks I need to get done, which is, yeah, that's exciting. 4 blocks on that plus 300 stitches. Stitcher's Choice, I have left currently as like to be decided, but what I think it's gonna be is the Stitchonomy Halloween Sal, because that first pattern, like the frame, gets released on September 17th, which is a Friday. I have it written down. So September 17th is when like the frame becomes available, the first pattern becomes available. And I want to stay up on that this year, if possible. I said that with that project, but I really want to stay up on it this year. So I'm hoping if I use that in my categories, I'll stay up on it. Because especially come October, she does daily releases. So every single day a pattern gets released. And they're typically small motifs that can be stitched in a single evening, which is great. The pattern frame is like always the longest part. And that's what always slows me down. So I really want to get that going. And because I've like finished other stuff, I don't feel guilty about starting that. Like I feel like it'll be okay to start this because I have finished other things and I have made other progress, which is really exciting. And then last but not least, large, which is Letters from Hogwarts. Plus Letters from Hogwarts is also my focus piece in Semi-Sane. Since I got it to an even number, I feel I like that a lot. I started September at 19,000 total stitches on it. And with that focus piece, you take a picture every 1,000 stitches. So that's like a really easy thing now for me to remember. Last month I started at like 17,300. So I had to remember to take a picture at 18,300. But this is, it's right there on the dot, which is really, really nice. In Magical Stitches, the monthly events we are finishing up this year with admin is giving the 2 locations, and then it is up to us to write our own prompts with a minimum of 500 stitches on each prompt. And the 2 rooms that we were given this month are the basement and the Bachelors Wing. I am totally stumped for the Bachelors Wing. Vicky gave like a really good example for the basement of like, we store things in the basement, like I think her example was Christmas decorations. You know, we store Christmas decorations in the basement. So stitch on a whip that has Christmas objects in it. So I was thinking about essentially doing something similar, only making it like Halloween themed. Of, you know, we store things in the basement. So stitch on something that has Halloween stuff. So like spooky, whatever. But Bachelor's Wing, I don't even think I know like what that means in a house. Like I'm sure I could, you know, figure it out. Let's see. Let me look it up and see. Do do do. Okay. Sorry, I also got an order that my grocery order is, I got an email that my grocery order is ready. Okay, so let's look it up. What does a bachelor's wing in a house look like? Bachelor's wing house? It's just giving me a bunch of stuff for the Biltmore estate, which is what this is based off of. What is a bachelor's wing? I don't even know. Let's see. This from like a different thing says like male guests enjoyed the smoking and billiard rooms in the bachelor's wing. So like I'm assuming that it's like essentially a boys only section of the house. Which seems so weird. Yeah, like oh, so like a bachelor's hall, according to Merriam-Webster online, is the residence of a bachelor or of a man whose wife is absent, usually housed in the phrase to keep bachelor's hall. So just like a section of a house where unmarried men or men whose wives aren't around stay. What am I gonna do for that? Like stitch on a whip that has a man in it, stitch on a whip that's like the only thing I can come up with is like, yeah, stitch on a whip with a guy. Stitch on a whip that would be fancy enough to have a bachelor's wing. That's crazy. And then last but not least, I am choosing to do the whip whammy game for the first time in Semi-Sane. I'm doing the counting version. I'm so behind. So every day a list of prompts is given. There's 3, and you can choose to answer at least one or all 3 with a photo. So it'll be like, what's your favorite candy? Include a picture of your dog, and then like something else. I don't think I even have an example right now. I didn't write them down. No, I didn't. I think they're like the first day was like a picture of a lawnmower. And so you have to answer with pictures, but it has to be a picture that you take. You can't just like Google search it and pull it off, right? So you put a post, right, with your answers, and then you go and say like, I've done my post, and you ask for the number of spins for the prompts you answered. So for example, for day 1, I answered 2 of the 3 and asked for 2 spins. So then they spin a wheel, And based off of what happens on the wheel, you either get entries into the grand prize, you are given a stitch amount that you have to stitch, maybe stitches are taken away, so you have like a reduced amount of stitches. So those are the basic. It's either a stitch or entries, right? But then there are also random things that could also happen. You could get stitches taken away. It could say like take away 50 stitches. You could earn a bonus spin either for yourself, so you could spin it, you get another spin, or for someone else, and then you pick someone else in the group and give them another spin. You can bank your entries so that way they're safe, or you get hit with the whip whammy, which means you lose all of your entries that aren't banked. So currently, my first day, I asked for 2 spins. I was given 2 entries, which is exciting, and I was given 200 stitches. Easy peasy, got that done, no big deal. Day 2, I answered 2 of the 3 prompts and promptly got hit with 275 stitches for both prompts, for a total of 550 stitches. I can't do that in a day. And this is where that comes in. So you can take as long as you need to stitch, right? You can't answer prompts if you have open stitches. So day 2 came, I got hit with 550 stitches. I'm still working on those. I'm also really behind because my parents came in this past weekend and I literally did not have any time to stitch except for in the evenings, maybe after they went to bed for a little bit, or if there was some very minor downtime in the afternoons while we were like resting between events kind of thing. So it's now day 7 and I have not gotten those 550 stitches done, which is really frustrating because I feel really behind, even though it's just a game. You can use as many projects as you want. You don't have to do it all on one project. You can break it up. But you have to do all of those stitches before you can start the next prompt. Also, you can only answer the prompt that day, like day of. So if I, for whatever reason, managed to get all of my stitches done today, I won't, but say I did. Say I finished those 550 stitches. It's still day 7, so I have to answer day 7's prompts. Even if I finish today, like even if I finish my stitches and it's day 7, even if I finish at 11:50 at night, I still have to go ahead and do day 7 because it's still technically day 7. It doesn't matter that day 8 is 10 minutes away. I have to do day 7. But you have, however long, you have that whole day. So like they'll give day 8's prompts tonight at 10 p.m. or whatever. And then I have all day tomorrow to get into day 8 or whatever. So it is nice, like they give it to you ahead of time, but it is kind of like it involves strategy as well, because it's like you want to get as many as you can, which is nice, but at the same time it's like I had 10 minutes left, really, like I have to do this before I can get to the next day. So pros and cons. I have 300 stitches left. My brain, that needs to be done. No, more than that. Oh my god, way more than that. I have so many stitches I need to do. It's fine. So, that's that. Stitchy goals for September, done. Reading goals for September. Let's talk about my reading goals. Also, I'm obsessed with the way I laid this out this month. This is so nice and satisfying to me to look at and beautiful. So my September book club book is The Sweetness at the Bottom of the Pie. It is the same as the month of August because I didn't read it in August and I need to read it ASAP because I picked it as the family book club book and didn't get it done, and I need to. I need to wrap this up too because I need to go get my groceries. So September is Sweetness at the Bottom of the Pie. Gotta finish that. The book of the month for Magical Stitches is number 8 in the embroidery series, which is Wicked Stitch by Amanda Lee. And then the WIPGO numbers are 3 and 22. So in Magical Stitches, the prompts for the other books is a story about a widow or a widower, a single word title, a standalone book, and then a book with a single figure on the cover. So don't have any ideas for those yet. I made like a list of it at work to kind of look at, and I put some things on hold. I have a book that I just started as an audiobook called Lobezona, featuring like a Hispanic protagonist, a Latina. She's not Hispanic, she's Latina. Sorry, because she is from, her family is from Argentina. Is that correct? I see, I don't want to be, I want to be accurate. I don't want to be disrespectful. Yes, okay. Argentina is considered part of Latin America, so she is Latina. I feel better looking that up because I would hate to misspeak because that's just so rude. So I'm listening to that. I'm really into it so far. It's a YA title, I believe. Maybe not, but it follows a teenage girl, and I'm only a few chapters in, and she's got some interesting things happening to her body, and she's got these really strange eyes that set her apart from the crowd, and her family is also they're illegal immigrants in the United States, and so she is living in hiding with her mom, and it's, yeah, I don't have a lot of information yet, but I'm really enjoying it so far. I have some suspicions about what she is, because it is marked as like a supernatural fantasy magical story, where it is said that, the seventh child of a generation, the seventh consecutive child of a whatever, will be gifted with powers, and the girls are either witches and the boys are werewolves or whatever. I think she's a werewolf. I think there's something crazy that's going on, and anyways. So I have that because it's a one-word title. There's a single figure on the thing, and it is a standalone book as far as I know, so I can plug those in anywhere. I'm just giving myself options. Okay, WhipGo, finish number 3 and number 22. Number 3 was just a task to finish a book in a week. I can do that. So that's really nice. I have that one thing, so I'm going to try and knock that out of the park and then focus on going back and completing some of those older prompts and tasks that I never got to. And then number 22 was the category called Hidden. And this is also really helpful because I have already previously completed 2 of these tasks. So one is a mask on the cover. Have not got anything for that yet. A book written by an author who uses a pseudonym. I actually completed this back in February because I read The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith, which we know is a pseudonym for J.K. Rowling. We have the word hidden is in the title. Have not got that. And then a book about a treasure hunt. Completed that back in July because I used Thread on Arrival, which was the 5th book in the Embroidery Mystery series by Amanda Lee. So it was really nice using those monthly books. So that's going on there. Plus, I have that goal. I want to read for a minimum of 20 minutes a day. There are a couple back to school, reading type challenges that I've seen online, and they're all, read a minimum of 20 minutes a day. And so I'm trying to commit to that. And I'm being flexible with myself, and I'm allowing myself to make up those times. So I didn't read while my parents were here. But I read a bunch yesterday because my son had soccer practice yesterday, and I read his entire soccer practice for an hour. And so I let myself allocate those 20 minutes to the previous days that I missed. I'm trying to be gentle with myself because I think I was being too strict, and I was being too firm or too rigid with my boundaries or with my expectations of myself. And that's just not fair. That's just really not fair to me. So I'm trying to be better about that, being kinder to myself. So there's that. Real quick life update stuff, and then I have to go. Let's see. So August, super busy. I already mentioned some of it. We went on vacation. I did all of that. Awesome time. And then I had my video about the Stitchonomy grand opening. That was amazing, fantastic, love that. What else happened? So Caden started school, which does not feel real. He is in 4th grade, and it's just mind-boggling. I feel really good about it. You know, last year was really hard. Last year was the first year that he was back in school full-time after being like a hybrid, half online, half in school because of COVID and everything. So that last year was like his first year fully back in school, and there was just some issues that go along with that. You know, everyone's trying to get back into that routine. Everyone was trying to get back into being in school, and there were behavior issues from other kids. He had behavior issues. His teacher, bless her, you know, she tried really, really hard, but she was a first-year teacher who was thrown into this situation. She was supposed to be teaching a completely different grade. She was supposed to be teaching kindergarten, and then gets thrown in with 3rd graders who are wild and unruly, and it was a lot. It was a lot for anyone to handle, because we have learned that his class, like his grade year, is their biggest like class. There are so many kids in his age group for whatever reason. Like 2016 was the year to have a kid, I guess. Like, but there are so many kids in his like age bubble, and so there's so many of them in one classroom, and it was a lot. So last year was tough. We had quite a few phone calls home. I was visiting the school quite a bit, just between, you know, concerns we had with the teacher and how she was coping, and concerns that Caden was bringing home to us. And it was just a lot, you know. But this year feels really good. The kids all seem to be adjusting really, really well. You know, they've got that, they're back into the swing of things. He has a very accustomed teacher. She's been at the school for multiple years. She taught older kids before this year. And he's really enjoying it. There really haven't been that many problems so far. I know we're only a couple weeks into the school year actually starting, but still, I'm optimistic. That's going really well. We went on a quick trip to Harlan, Iowa a couple weekends ago for my husband's grandfather's 80th birthday, which is crazy. So like all the family got there. They had a huge party celebration for him. We got to meet a bunch of family that previously had not met, kind of thing. Like there were people who have met me maybe once, if at all, kind of thing. Got to see family, aunts, uncles, cousins. It was really good. That was exciting. We came back. Caden has started soccer again, so he's excited for that as well, because he really, really enjoys soccer. And with it being fall and he has these evening practices, it's not too hot. He has his first game this weekend on Sunday. I'm excited for him, and this is the first year that he gets to play like as the adults do. So they're playing full field, full team of 11 kids per team on the field at a time. Previously, you know, it was like half court, or they played with fewer kids on the team out on the field. It was like 7 kids kind of thing. And this is, they're doing it all. They're going hard. And he's really excited about it. He's making friends quickly. He's doing his thing. And yeah, what else happened in the end of August that I can mention? I've got my planner right here in front of me. I don't know. We just like hung out. We stayed. We did things. We had fun. Still have not scheduled. I'm supposed to get my wisdom teeth pulled. That's a whole thing I don't have time to go into right now. Supposed to get that. They were supposed to call me and schedule that in August, and they didn't call me. But now I'm a little concerned because I'm starting to experience some pain. And obviously I don't want to experience any pain. Like mouth pain is not, I can handle a lot. I don't like that. I'm starting to feel some discomfort on this left side of my face. So I think I need to give them a call and ask about that and be like, hey, I need to know when the oral surgeon is coming, because that was like the whole thing. Essentially, long story short, I have to get my wisdom teeth out at 28. which they're worried could cause some complications and be difficult because of the older you get, the harder your bones become. And I guess ideally they want your wisdom teeth out before the age of 24. And that didn't happen. So now I'm older, and because they've just been left to grow, they have not come through. They have not burst through my mouth, but because they've just been left, they have like fully formed. They're deep in my jaw though, and they're just worried that it's going to cause some problems. There were some concerns on the x-ray with like where they are in my jaw. So yeah, just stuff like that. Worried about infections or just pain. So they're supposed to skull. They wanted it to happen in August. We could not make that work. August was too busy. Like, this is just... August was way too busy. So then they're like, okay, let's go for September. We'll call you mid-August. It has come and gone. We're now a week into September. Still have not received any phone calls. I've received a bill. But, you know, I need to get that scheduled because these need to come out. If it is as serious as they said it is, I need them out, and I don't want this to continue. I don't want this discomfort that I'm currently feeling to continue or get worse. So they need to come out. So I need that to happen. So I need to call them. The only issue is when you call and you schedule it, you have to pay it all up front. Like, you have to pay. It's due in full. So that's a little stressful. Like, why do I have to do that? Why do I have to pay for this procedure in full before it even happens? But okay. Whatever, life. So that needs to happen this month. We've got birthdays this month. My husband's dad, my father-in-law's birthday is this month. It's a really important birthday, so we'll be traveling for that to celebrate. I'm going to go to my first pro football game this month. I'm not a big football person, but I'm going to actually go to a football game, like an actual football game, which is weirdly exciting. I'm going to see family while we're there. What else is happening that I can talk about? I just did all this. I don't know. It becomes autumn. The first day of fall is the 22nd. That's happening, and that's really exciting. Just things to look forward to, things that are happening. It's going to be really busy. So I'm hoping to be better and more conscious of my time and my energy and, you know, apply myself where it fits. I have things that I want to get done and things that I want to do, and I just need to not be lazy. I just want to be busy. I need a haircut. I'm going to go. Oh, that was what it was. Yes. Because also this month marks, it should be my dad's birthday. Unfortunately, you know, it is 2 years since he has passed. And it's still hard. That happened at the end of August. August 23rd is the day that my dad passed. So that was the anniversary of his death. And the end of the month is just hard for me. And then, you know, you have almost exactly a month later is his birthday. His birthday was September 25th. And, you know, that is solidly marked in my memory as my dad's birthday. So I will definitely be honoring him that day. Oddly enough, that is the day of the football game. So my emotions, we will see. I am a little nervous. I am a little concerned because, you know, we're going to be there for my husband's dad, my father-in-law, but it's my actual dad's birthday. So it's going to be some weird feelings, some weird emotions. I'm choosing to stay positive. I'm choosing to look at it as this is something cool that I can do and act as if I'm also celebrating my dad of like going to a football game. I think he would love that. So we'll see. Anyways, I'm going to leave that here. I will talk to you all very, very soon. This was such a long video. I got to go get my groceries so I can make dinner for us. But take care of yourselves. Happy stitching, happy reading, happy watching, happy listening, happy doing whatever it is that makes you happy doing. I will see you all very, very soon. Be easy with your hearts.